Hello, folks. I would like to give a review today on my new Optic. It's a Vortex Strike Eagle. It is a 1 to 6 by 24 ARBDC. It's on my M&P 15. First of all, I want to let you know this gun is safety checked prior to the video to save time. I also want to thank someone on the YouTube channels. His name is Compulsion84. He has a very in-depth review or in-depth information regarding optics, and I think you really need to check that out. It helped me out in picking this particular optic, and especially if you're new to optics like myself or new to AR-15s as myself, and it also would help somebody that's probably already experienced. So he gives a very good comprehensive review. What I'll do is I'll leave a link and you can check it out for yourself, and it's very good information. Okay, now getting to my optic. Here, I chose this optic because, like I said earlier, I was very new to optics in general, as well as I'm very new to rifles in general, such as AR-15s, and I also own a AK-47. I originally had a Bushnell TSR 32 on here, but I wanted something that could magnify, and I didn't want an optic with the flip magnifiers or and so forth. So I went with this one because it had a lot of basics that really would suit me for my purposes since I'm very new at this. Uh, just to show you here, it has end caps here to flip up end caps for the front and the back. It also has what I like and what I was told on this is it has cap turrets, and I'm going to get into the cap turrets a little bit here. This cap turret right here, I'm going to unscrew this so you'll see what this is. This cap turret over here, it's actually not a turret, but this is where you place your battery. Your battery goes inside here, and this is what I believe it's a common battery, so they're very plentiful if you need to replace these batteries. But what's interesting about this is this side here. This is not only the capped end for, let's say, for your windage right here for left and right. It also holds a spare battery in here, which is really cool because a lot of people like myself might leave the optic on, and next thing you know, you have a dead battery. So that's really a cool feature that they have. So you really get two batteries when you purchase this. Here's the turret uh, for height, for elevation, and this is where you can see you can make your adjustments. And I'm hoping I can focus this in a little better for you to see. But one thing about this for elevation, there's a little slit here. I don't know if you can see that very well because my camera's not focusing in like I want it to. There is a little slit right in here. So after you focus your sight in, there's a little slit where you can use your fingernail or maybe a smaller screwdriver. After you zero it in, you can lock this in place and uh, for your zero. It's going to be a spot for your zero, and you can lock that in place. So let's say if you want to shoot down the range at a different distance but don't want to lose your marker. Let's say you want this marker to be for 50 yards and maybe you're shooting somewhere at 200 yards. You'll be able to find the spot where you zeroed in before to get 50 yards in, and it will hold the spot. It's pretty much like a placeholder. I don't know the correct terminology for that. Okay, as far as the magnification goes, these do pop off. I'm going to show you right here. These pop off, no problem at all. You could just take these off easily. And what I like about this is for people that usually do three gun matches. I'm not familiar with. I've seen three gun matches, but I'm not a three gun match person. I just love the target shoot. That's my main purpose for buying an optic. Right here, as you see right here, there's the. It's a true what they call one magnifier right here. That you have your magnification at one right here, and then you can turn and adjust to 2, 3, 4, etc. to 6. They recommend you to turn this in the 6 spot and zero, and then use everything else to zero in to shoot for maybe 50 yards to zero it in. Then you can make your adjustments accordingly. And this basically, the number one spot is usually used for close quarters, or anybody that does three competition know that they what to do with that. Like I said, I'm not an expert on that. There are some rings out there that will assist people to flip it over and turn it back and forth real quick at ease. I didn't elect to buy one of those yet because I don't have a purpose for it. But however, your adjustments are here with a good focusing ring right here. We can just focus in and out so you can get a clearer sight picture. For a novice like myself, like said before, I'm not really good with optics yet. I'm learning. I'm taking the learning curve on this, and this is a good for maybe somebody that's just getting into the competition field. But this optic is good for hunting or anything else that you want to do. For my purposes, I just like to target shoot, and I'm just going to learn with this optic. So it's a good learning tool, and even with people that are experienced, for the price point that this optic is. This optic, I went on Amazon, and this optic only cost me $308. As you see right here, I have right here. I don't. This is from Vortex also. Uh, this is their what they call a cantilever ring mount. This is by Vortex. And they make, and I like the way this places the optic forward instead of being back. Even though this is kind of like big in size, it gives you decent eye relief once it's pushed up forward. This model right here is called the CM 202. Now I know there are other ones that you can use that are 2 inch or 3 inch, but I like this particular one. It works out well for me. Now, a lot of you are going to ask about what about the reticle. Like I said, I'm very new to optics, so I'm just going to give you what I can tell you about the reticle, and I'm showing you the manual right here. In the manual, you can see here the first line. The first line over here is anywhere for 20 yards to 200 yards. And from there, the next line, it shows you your bullet drop, so you can compensate for bullet drop. Going to 300 yards, you would just lift your optic or place your optic targeted where it would go to the next line, and then there's 300, 400, 500, and 600. So it's just basically you're lifting your gun with the optic and placing it over at these particular points for bullet drop. So as you know, if you use heavier rounds or traveling that distance, there's going to be some considerable bullet drop. Especially some people use, well, I was using a 55 grain. Some people might use a 65 grain. So you have to do some experimenting when you're using bullet to bullet drop ratio or the grains, from my understanding. This is particularly designed for the 223s, and it will give you what line it is. The first line, it shows you at 300, and then second line 400, 500, 600. In addition, if you have, for those of you who have 308s, the first line is going to be 230 yards. Second line is roughly about 330, 340, 570, and so forth. So for those of you who have a 308, uh, this optic will be good for that. You just make your adjustments accordingly, especially when you're reading the manual itself. Like I said, and I guess I keep repeating myself saying this, that I'm just new to this. I'm just going to show you some targets. Unfortunately, I live in the city. I live in Philly. So if I want to go and fire this, I have to usually go out to a county. I had to go to Horsham, PA, and the range I was using over there, the range is a maximum distance is roughly about 20 yards. So I was using this with 20 yards. There are other ranges, but from where I live, I had to travel anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours just to get to a decent range. So one day I'm going to really have to set up some time for myself to go to a range where I can do some distance 50, 100 yards or 200 yards because I really wanted to increase my skills since I'm new to long guns firing or owning this long gun myself. I'm used to firing pistols, but I just wanted to show you some targets here. And this is the target from the original first shots. I didn't make any adjustments or anything like that. As you see, there's some nice groups here, but as you see, it's off target. That was a lucky shot. I'm going to just say that it was a flyer. And the same here. That's what, and this one's basically off the target grid altogether. And that's a flyer. So afterwards, I was trying to work on sighting, and as you see, I was over in the wrong spot before, so I'm just working my way to work the windage and the elevation, and to try to center these as best that I could. And I wanted to really work to get this in this ring over here. I'm going to say it's a lucky shot there. Or and the other problem I had is I got to get used to holding my arm properly when holding an AR-15 because eventually my arm would probably sag. So in between, I took maybe like a few shots here, and then I tried to readjust. Changing the adjustments, and then move my arm up, move the adjustments again, and my arm, and try to really concentrate on keeping the shots where they should be. Unfortunately, with me, I wear bifocals, so sometimes it gets a little confusing with me looking through optics because anybody that wear bifocals, you got to look between one line and the other line, and I have an invisible line on my bifocals, so I was getting that confused, or I looked over my glasses and then my eyesight was wrong. So I'm retraining myself with using optics. Uh, this one, as you see here, I'm trying to get the adjustments to get where I want to. I wanted to just basically stay in this diamond and work the circle. I got a really good shot right here. I can't get no better than that, I don't think. And got in here in this ring here. So I'm really working one flyer out here, but I'm really trying to move and improve. Like I said, this optic is a very good optic. It helps me out very well. And I just want to mention when I used the lighting, when I turned the optic on, because the first two targets were without the optic being on. It was in the off position. So this is when I turned on the optic. I think I had it at brightness setting roughly 5. There were 11 uh, uh, brightness positions right here, if you can see that. And I usually film off of my, this is this is my Galaxy Note 5, so I don't have a GoPro or anything like that. So I usually just film off of this. So as you see, this is the 0 setting, which is your off setting. Of course, your 1, your 2, and your 3. And I had it on brightness setting 5. And, that's not going to work. You can see a little. I'm going to try to just set it at a brightness setting. Maybe, maybe you can see it or not. There we go, a little bit. But right there is the optic. I should have a better background. Let me see if I could put it. But as you see, that's the bright. You can see it a little bit. A lot of people have better cameras than me, and I'm sorry about that. So that's why I pulled out that little prop there so you can see what the reticle will look like. But like I said, this is with that target with the brightness on at this 5 setting. And here is my last set of shots. Now, I screwed up on this because I was trying to make center it even more, and I went to, when I was setting up the windage, I went a little bit too far on the right. As you see that group there. And another crazy thing that happened is I made a stupid mistake by not putting Loctite on the cantilever right here. So where this holds the sight itself, I didn't have any Loctite on it. And the problem with that is not just 1 or 2 screws. All 8 screws started backing out, I guess because of the recoil. It started at shot maybe 70 because I put 80 rounds in just to test this. So they started backing out here, and they started backing out here. And I noticed it when I tried to make an adjustment, and the whole thing started to move on me. So the remaining shots that I was going to fire were probably due to, I guess, the sight moving out of focus for me because it's moving back and forth and it's not secured properly. But all in all, I'm going to simply say this. This sight is a very good sight. It's good for a person that is new to firearms, new to, let's say, AR-15, such as myself. It's not over complicated. It does require a learning curve if you're new to optics, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm at that learning curve, but it is. I can't make any complaints about this. Again, this does come with something. It only comes with the optic itself. You have your basically your information packet, of course, the covers here, a cleaning cloth, and pretty much that's about it. But when you order the cantilever right here, when you order this, that comes complete with, of course, the screws, and it comes complete with the, what am I trying to say here? Comes complete with an Allen wrench so you can install all these parts on here. Other than that, I love this optic. I need to get a little more training on the optic. I know I do. And from what I see from other YouTube videos on this optic, I see guys do very well with these optics, especially at, let's say, 50 yards, 100 yards, because they're a lot better shooters than I am. But again, I want to thank, Compulsion 84, because he really narrowed it down, made it less intimidating for me. Like I said, I'm going to post a link with his information. He's a little bit more of a pro with this than I am, because he does do 3-gun competitions and so forth. So I'll send a link to let you know about that. I just wanted to let you know, if you're a novice or like myself, this will be a good optic to use, especially for the price point of $308. You can't beat it. I mean, really, for $308 to have a scope like this with the type of quality that it has. I'm a Vortex fan because, like I said, I'm basically a handgun shooter, and I have a Glock 41 MOS, and I have the Vortex Venom. So I know it comes from a good company. It's a lifetime warranty on these optics, no matter what you do. It's on my Vortex Venom. It's also on this. No questions asked, and they will take care of that for you. Okay, if anybody has any suggestions or any questions about this optic or any advice, open to all. And give a like on this if you like to. And like I said, I'm not a professional with this, but I will answer certain things for you. All right, take care. Thanks for your time.